Hello team App Avengers, this is the NFT Marketplace which I have created. So my name is Vishnu Gurup and I am currently pursuing my bachelor's in IIT Vadodara International Campus degree. So this is the NFT Marketplace which I have made. So I will explain you some basic function of the NFT Marketplace. So here you can see I have listed some NFTs which a Pug and a Shiba Inu NFT. So right now, just now I have listed only two NFTs. So here it shows that it is owned by me. So if I click on this here, so if because it is owned by me, here it is showing to update listing price, let's say, and also I can sell NFT. So here I can sell NFT by giving the deployed NFT address and deployed token ID and the price. So and I can submit it. So this is the basic functionality of my application. Let's say if I am a buyer and I want to buy these NFTs, I can change my account. See here you can see after changing my account, it is showing that it is owned by 0xEV some address. So if I right now if I want to buy it, I want to click on this. Right now I'm not having Sequoia ETH in this browser. Wait, I will shift my browser. Yeah. Okay. This is the browser which I have Sequoia ETH, I think. Yeah. So let's say I want to buy Pug. So I will click on Pug. So by clicking on Pug, it will automatically uh, sign the transaction and use the save transfer from function to sell it to me. So here you can see item bought. So this is the basic NFT marketplace which I have created. So coming to the smart contract. So okay, this is the smart contract which I have used to build this application. So these are some basic errors and these are the events which will be emitted after the user buying some item or canceling the item or listing the item. I will directly show the functions which I have written. So this is the list item function. Whenever anyone want to, let's say anyone want to show their NFT or anyone want to sell their NFT in our marketplace, they have to list our item. So they have to call the list item function to show their NFTs in our marketplace. So here we are basically checking if the NFT is approved with the token ID, and if it is approved, we were mapping it to the S&S listings. Here you can see this is the mapping. So we are mapping the NFT address token ID with the price and the message sender. So this is the list item function, and also if they want to cancel their item, they can also cancel it by clicking on the uh, cancel button in our interface. So here is the cancel listing function. So it will basically delete that mapping, and also every time and whenever a function is called, we are also emitting an event which will help us to gather this information and show it in the interface. And also this is the function buy item. So in the buy item, we are using the safe transfer from the IRC 721 method, which will ensure the safe transfer from the seller to the buyer. So here, whenever let's say the buyer is buying, we are first deleting the listing because there can be a re-entrancy attack possible. So to avoid that, we are basically using uh, right now we are not using any re-entrancy guard. So first we are deleting the mapping, and after that we are transferring the NFT from the seller to the buyer. And also a user can update the listings. So if let's say if they want to change the price of the NFT, they can also update the listing by giving the NFT address, token ID, and new price of the NFT. So here in this function withdraw proceeds. So here we are basically using the concept of pull or push. So sorry, I am mentioning VVV. Sorry, I am the one who did the whole project. Sorry, I. So in the withdraw proceeds, I have used the method called pull or push. In Solidity, there is a concept called pull or push. We are transferring the risk from our side to the owner. Whenever any buyer buys the NFT, so the owner direct the seller who is selling the NFT will not directly get their money. So here we are transferring the risk to the seller. So they have to withdraw their money by calling this function. So after calling this function, the mapping will become the zero, and the the money will transfer from the buyer to the sorry the money will transfer from our contract to the uh, buyer, sorry, seller. So these are some data functions. So I have used hard hat runtime environment to run this uh, uh, to run this contract. So I have written some deploy scripts. So these are some deploy scripts for the this is the deploy script for the NFT marketplace, the main marketplace contract. So I haven't shown you the NFTs which I am using. So I have written two basic NFT contracts to to call mint NFT function. So whenever user want to this is an NFT marketplace, right? So they can update, they can give their NFT address to map in our interface. For the basic purposes, I have to show some NFTs in our marketplace. So I have used two IPFS links, like two metadatas. I will show that metadata. So these are the metadata I have used. So these are the uh, these are the images I have used for NFTs. So this is the metadata, one is of bug and one is of Shiba Inu. So here I will show you the deploy script. See, this is the deploy script of NFT Marketplace. This is the deploy script of basic NFT. So here there are two basic NFT and basic NFT 2. In the interface I have shown you two NFTs. I have created it by using a script. See, this is the script which I have written to list that two NFTs. First, it will take the contract NFT Marketplace, and after taking the NFT Marketplace, it should mint NFT, right? So first it should mint NFT, and then after minting the NFT, it should list in the contract. So for minting NFT, whenever I call the script, I have used the random number generation. Like if the random number is 1, it will generate random numbers up to 2, and if the random number is 1, it will call the basic NFT 2, which is a Shiba Inu, and if it is not random, if it is 0, then it will call the basic NFT, which is a bug. So after minting the NFT, we are approving the NFT to the marketplace, and after approving, we are listing the NFT. So after listing, we will show the listed NFTs in our interface. So this is how it will work. So this is basically the front end part, and I have used Next.js to create interfaces. To create interface, which show you. So these are the pages I have used. This is the app component. This is the set NFT component. Here to check the events, to list out the event, to list out the items which are got listed. So I have used the graph protocol. So the graph is a decentralized protocol, which is a layer 2 protocol. So I have used the graph to list out the items, or to whenever anyone calls the shell NFT function, it will emit the event, right? I have created a graph node in our contract. So whenever anyone calls the function, the graph node API will got activated, and it will send the response to our application. So I have created a graph node using the subgraph. I will show you. So this is the subgraph studio which I have created. This is the graph which I have created. So NFT Marketplace. So I have used these commands to create the graph. So after creating graph, right now if I run the script and call this query, so basically it works like a centralized, but the concept is totally decentralized. This works on GraphQL. Whenever we send a query, it will give us a response. So this is the query. Let's say I want active items of top 5 or top 10, I think, first 10, and whenever I call this query in this API, it will give me the active items for the top 10 users. Right now only two items on the list, right? So it have just two items in its active items list. So it have its ID, buyer, seller, and NFT address. See here I am keeping the buyer as a 0x00 initially. So let's say if anyone buys it, so if anyone buys it, the buyer attribute will get changed. So whenever the buyer attribute will get changed, the front end will also get changed. I will show you the scripts which I have used. Right. So this is the get item query, which will query the top 10 active items in our marketplace. So let's say here whenever the buyer got updated, we can change that. We can change. You can also give that buyer equals to, and we can say 0x000. Sorry. So this is initial address, right? So whenever anyone buys, the buyer address will get changed and the active items list will get updated. So this is how it will work. It will change the active items list according to the buyer who bought it. So this is the basic application which I have used. So I have used the graph, hard hat runtime environment, Solidity, and Next.js to create interface. So this is all about my project.